Good Samaritan kidney donor Kevin Shea was a New York City firefighter who suffered a broken neck on 9/11 but survived, the only one of his battalion to do so. He has gone on to donate his kidney to a California teacher. Here is Kevin's story.
I really do not know why I did it or do anything else that I do. So I decided to do a case study, and the subject is me, so I'm not going to use my name because that would sound like I'm too egotistical. The case study includes one typical healthy 50-year-old male candidate. I'm going to jump through to some of the possible things in his personal mental status that may have caused him to make the decision to donate the kidney, and also for likely to donate his liver and maybe his marrow in the future. All right. So the subject may have been affected perhaps by any of these following conditions, not to exclude any. The first one would be a unique event. As you saw in the video, at the terrorist attack of 9/11, the subject responding as a New York City firefighter to the South Tower was one of the few that survived, sustained several injuries from the tower collapse on and around him. This is in contrast to, sadly, all the members in his entire battalion that made the supreme sacrifice on that day. It is conceivable that perhaps a 2x4 beam struck his head at an angle and at a force that altered his perspective to want to be a living donor. Number two hypothesis is that the subject's unique job as a firefighter, where sacrifice for others and over their own safety seems obligatory for their membership. Perhaps the subject, Kevin Shea, is experiencing work transference and hence obligates self-sacrifice in his daily life. Finally, the third one is interesting dream projects for anyone who knows me. The subject built a landmark home called the Long Island Green Dome, a 6,000 square foot atrium, exhibiting leadership in environmental and ecological design. Or his experienced swashbuckling adventures to sustain bamboo and moringa forest in Nicaragua. It is conceivable that this subject is giving his kidney on some subconscious level from his bucket list to create a legacy that will be remembered long after he dies. Who knows, maybe in 1,000 years, even he will be worth something. Okay. Belief system is the fourth hypothesis, that particularly the client's belief in a recent movement titled effective altruism, which is basically a life philosophy that believes that an individual should act in a way that has the most impact to the most people. Perhaps the number of people whose quality of years of life were extended weighed more than the hours of wrenching surgical gas pain, misfiring nerve endings, teetering on a toilet, and swishing sounds when the subject rolled to his side to recover his sleep. And finally, the doctor envy hypothesis. Working as a doctor, as we know, requires at least 8+ years of highly skilled training. With talent, they could expect to achieve around 600 quality-adjusted life years for their patients. This may be equivalent to about saving around 20 lives, or roughly one every 2 years in their career. It is conceivable that perhaps the subject, suppose that a rapid, one-time only, non-direct, pair-to-kidney exchange would allow him to bypass the long-term investment of time, money, and energy to which this audience must commit. Okay? In conclusion, good. In conclusion, I simply say to you that I do not know empirically why I asked your team to extract my kidney and place it in a patient unknown to me and without regard to knowing their criminal records. I applaud those who have done this program, and I regret only not to having the words nor means, even to this moment, to effectively influence others to join me. Thank you.